After engaging in his little game for 2 long years, he discerned that the time had come to bring it to an end. Gently, he removed her beloved necklace from her neck. And tolerably, with the intention of capturing some photos, suggested taking shots among the rocks on the beach. Slyly, his fingers traced the polished wood until they found the seam. As she watched him slide the knife in, her eyes widened, and a scream escaped her lips. Anna and Terry, a couple from Australia, had not always been in the media spotlight. Prior to a fateful moment in Scotland, Anna had never suspected that Terry harbored a mind-blowing secret for years. After 3 years of dating, Anna believed she knew everything about her boyfriend. But she was about to discover how wrong she was. Their journey began in 2014. Terry, having dated Anna for a year, presented her with a gift on their anniversary, seeking to create something meaningful for their first year together. He honed his woodworking skills. After careful planning, Terry crafted a pendant for Anna from one pine, a wood unique to Tasmania, inlaying a spiral seashell they had found on their travels. He shaped it into a teardrop, adding the finishing touches. He hung the pendant on a piece of white string, creating what seemed like the perfect anniversary gift. However, unbeknownst to Anna, the necklace held a secret. Though Anna loved the pendant and wore it every day, she remained unaware of its hidden significance. Terry confessed. She loved this token of our love so much that she wore it every day and everywhere we went. However, it wasn't until 2 years later that Anna discovered the necklace's secret. The Australian couple had always shared a passion for exploring different corners of the world, a trait they noticed in each other from their first meeting. Traveling and adventuring together had strengthened their bond, and they maintained a bucket list of places to explore. However, one destination on their list was about to alter their lives. In November 2016, the couple embarked on a journey that would unveil the mystery behind the necklace and change the course of their lives forever. Terry and Anna embarked on a journey to a remote location in Scotland, unaware that it would become an unforgettable holiday. The couple had planned to explore a smooth sea cave near the village of Jurnas on the coast of the Scottish Islands. However, Terry had more than just cave exploration in mind. He had meticulously planned this trip to be a pivotal moment for him and Anna. As they strolled along the beach, making their way to a secluded spot among the rocks, Anna marveled at the isolation. Unbeknownst to her, Terry was preparing to unveil a surprise that would forever change their lives. The anticipation hung in the air, and nobody could have predicted the twist that awaited them. Now completely alone, Terry decided it was time to drop the charade. Just before Anna and Terry were about to head down to explore the cave, Terry turned to Anna with a question. He asked if he could take her necklace off to capture some photographs of it among the rocks. Oblivious to Terry's true intentions, Anna agreed, allowing him to slip the necklace off her neck. However, her mood shifted dramatically when she saw him take out a knife, and she let out a scream. Unbeknownst to Anna, Terry had set up a camera with a timer, strategically positioned to immortalize this moment forever. With a calculated motion, he slid his knife into the seam that held the necklace together, twisting it smoothly. Anna, alarmed at the apparent destruction of her beloved pendant, demanded to know what he was doing. As Terry knelt down, the camera's flash captured the moment, freezing it in time. Opening his hands, Terry revealed 2 halves of the wooden pendant that he had lovingly carved for Anna 2 years prior. Puzzled, Anna looked down, and in Terry's hands, she noticed something glimmering. Had this been hidden inside the pendant the entire time, gazing from the engagement ring to Terry's face as he kneeled? Anna couldn't contain her emotions. Terry proposed. And Anna joyously said yes before leaping into his arms. The realization struck Anna: the ring had been hanging around her neck for 2 years without her knowledge. Touched by Terry's romantic gesture, she couldn't hide the anger she felt. Wait. It's been in there the entire time, I could have lost it. You idiot! She yelled. However, Terry had enough faith in his girlfriend and trusted her not to lose it. Anna had managed to keep the necklace safe for 2 full years. Speaking to ABC News about his romantic gesture, Terry explained that he had always loved the idea of giving someone a gift whose true value they wouldn't realize until years later. The surprise, the hidden engagement ring, and the enduring love between Terry and Anna made this holiday in Scotland an unforgettable chapter in their lives. Let's enjoy another similar story. The lingering joy of our perfect wedding day persisted as the last guest departed and the music faded away. My husband and I had exchanged heartfelt vows, and everything seemed flawless. However, as I gathered our belongings, a series of unexpected discoveries began to unravel the fabric of that seemingly flawless day. As I reached out to grab my husband, my eyes caught something that changed everything. In the corner of my eye, I saw a message on his phone. Immediately, I felt a sinking feeling in my stomach. I had always believed that we were a happy couple, sharing everything with each other. Or so I thought. The revelation hit me hard, and I was on the verge of tears at my own wedding reception. I couldn't fathom that he would keep such a significant secret from me. Initially, I wanted to find a way to extract the information without breaching his privacy. But his stubbornness prevailed. I was at the end of my rope, feeling torn between wanting to know the truth and respecting his privacy. However, the moment I saw them all together, engaged in a conversation that fell silent as I approached, confusion overwhelmed me. I needed answers, particularly about the mysterious message from my maid of honor, and James's nervous demeanor. It seemed everyone knew about it except for me. The burning question remained: what happened the night before our dream day? As we had envisioned during countless planning sessions, our wedding was a spectacular sight, a culmination of months of meticulous planning. However, one piece of advice echoed in my mind throughout the preparation. Remember, it's not just about that one day. It's about every day after. This saying had always stuck with me, a reminder that the wedding day was just the beginning of our journey. Despite my initial concerns about surprises, the day unfolded like a fairy tale. Stepping down the aisle with my father, everything seemed perfect. Our dear friends and family gathered from near and far, radiating joy and happiness. It surpassed our wildest dreams, exceeding the expectations James and I had meticulously planned for months. The vows exchanged beneath the arch, adorned with ivy and orchids, resonated with promises of love and commitment. My husband's voice wavered as he spoke the timeless words. For better or worse. He acknowledged that there were things about each other we might never fully understand but pledged to always try. Yet, amidst the celebration, a cloud of uncertainty loomed. The mysterious message, James's guarded secrets, and the peculiar silence during that crucial conversation weighed heavily on my mind. I grappled with conflicting emotions, torn between the fairy tale unfolding and the unsettling mysteries concealed beneath the surface. The wedding, despite its enchanting facade, left me questioning the unspoken events of the night before. His sincerity and love radiated as he spoke every word, each one sinking deep into my heart. binding us together for eternity. Every detail of the ceremony, from the veils that softly brushed against my face to the intertwining of our fingers while exchanging rings, added layers to my euphoria. Everything unfolded exactly as it should be. The dances, the smiles, the toasts raised in our honor, and the sweet taste of our perfect wedding cake. All seemed surreal. It was as if time had paused, allowing me to savor every precious moment. The laughter, the tears of joy, the stolen glances, and the shared secrets with my bridesmaids created memories I wish to bottle up and keep forever. At that moment, the happiness I felt seemed untouchable, and I believed it would stay with me for the rest of my life. Little did I know that reality would soon come crashing down. The signs were there, subtly hinting that everything wasn't as perfect as it seemed. When my bridesmaid Sarah leaned in and whispered, "Everything's perfect. Isn't it, just like we planned?" Well, almost. Her words trailed off, and she exchanged a knowing look with another friend. I shrugged it off at the time, dismissing it as a minor glitch in an otherwise flawless day. Later, I approached my maid of honor, Lisa, expressing my amazement at how everything had turned out and how grateful I was to her for executing all the plans we had made together. She smiled, but there was a flash of concern and guilt in her eyes that I failed to notice. Something was hidden beneath the surface, but my blissful ignorance shielded me from the truth. As the festivities continued, Lisa pulled me aside when I returned from the dance floor. She asked if he had talked to me about last night, a question that left me with a confused look. Before I could inquire further, Sarah interrupted, expressing her desire to dance and pulling Lisa away. Alone with my thoughts, I couldn't shake the growing unease. What had happened the night before that they seemed reluctant to share? The perfect facade of my wedding day was starting to crack, revealing an unsettling mystery hidden beneath the surface. The lingering question persisted in my mind, threatening to pull me out of the present moment. Something had happened. Something I should have known before marrying James. My mind raced through all the worst-case scenarios, immediately fixating on his bachelor party. Had he crossed the agreed-upon boundaries we had discussed before the event? Both James and I had emphasized our desire to avoid any situations that could potentially jeopardize our relationship, including the presence of strippers or anything that might lead to compromising positions or infidelity. When Lisa mentioned that something had happened that night, my mind zeroed in on the possibility of James's friends arranging for a stripper. Even worse, had there been infidelity, the lack of a private moment during the reception intensified my curiosity. And when James took a break from dancing, I saw my opportunity to address the looming question. He was sitting alone at our table, looking dashing in his suit. I took a chance and went straight to him, giving him a soft kiss as a greeting. Although he still looked like the most handsome man, my stomach fluttered with nerves. I hoped there was a different explanation for Lisa's cryptic words, but I knew I had to find out the truth. I initiated the conversation with a casual, "Hi, honey. Are you enjoying yourself so far?" His dreamy smile momentarily eased my concerns. Everything had always been easy with James, and his charismatic demeanor had a calming effect on me. As I sat down next to him, the familiarity of our connection soothed my pounding heart. "Yeah. I love the way we planned it. It's truly perfect," he replied. And I chuckled nervously, feeling a sense of urgency. I expressed my concern about not having much time alone during the significant day. "I feel like we've hardly had time to ourselves during this big day," I mentioned. hinting at the need for a more private conversation. James, sensing my intention, pulled me onto his lap and assured me that the wedding night was for such conversations. His seductive tone sent a chill down my spine, a reminder of his charming and flirtatious nature. James had always been a casual flirt, and his playful jokes had been part of what drew me to him. At the beginning of our relationship, everything had been spontaneous and effortless for him, a stark contrast to my controlled and planned approach. Our differences, like night and day, were evident. I was a control freak and perfectionist, while James was impulsive and free-spirited. The realization of our disparities had never been more pronounced. However, in that moment, the nerves began to subside as James continued to reassure me with his affectionate gestures. The complexities of our personalities and the differences that once seemed challenging now faded into the background, as we navigated the uncharted territory of a newlywed couple. I couldn't deny the deep connection that had always characterized our relationship. The wedding day might have had its challenges, but the promise of the wedding night held the potential for honest communication and a deeper understanding of each other. It was beneficial for James to introduce some structure into my life, particularly during the wedding planning. However, I also appreciated those moments when he shook up my world. His imprudent words about the upcoming wedding night caught me off guard, and I couldn't help but laugh, playfully slapping his shoulder. I also cannot wait for that. But I still want to know how you feel. We haven't talked since we left for our bachelor's night, I admitted, giving him a sheepish smile, as I observed his features. For a fleeting second, I could swear he looked guilty when he began to speak. The initial stammer triggered immediate concerns, and my thoughts raced to the worst-case scenarios that could have unfolded during his bachelor party. James enthusiastically described a fun night at an arcade, rented exclusively for their group. While I knew about his love for video games, particularly the retro ones, his story didn't address Lisa's cryptic message about him speaking to me about the events of that night. Trying to probe further without arousing suspicion, I commented, "That actually sounds like the perfect party for you. I'm just glad that both our parties complied with our wishes about no strippers." I smiled, hoping to gauge his reaction. He simply smiled back, responding, "Yeah, I agree. I do think that the two of us have some amazing friends." As he looked at the dance floor, filled with our combined friend groups, his arms tightened around me, leaving me puzzled about the hidden meaning behind his words. Unsatisfied and still puzzled about Lisa's cryptic message, I decided to press further. I asked again, "So, everything went according to plan last night, James?" His brows furrowed momentarily, but he quickly recovered, still wearing a smile as he half laughed and confirmed, "Yes, it did. It was the perfect start for our wedding." "Why are you asking? Wasn't yours great as well?" A sudden concern appeared on his face, and I hastily backtracked, assuring him, "No, honey. I loved my bachelorette. We had a wine tasting at a local vineyard, followed by a spa night. We even had a little silly painting party where we swapped canvases every 5 minutes. It was fantastic." Despite his reassurance, my unease persisted. I felt none the wiser about the mysterious undercurrents beneath the surface of our respective parties. Lisa's warning and James's slightly evasive answers left me with an unsettling feeling, and I couldn't shake the need for clarity. As we continued to enjoy the festivities, I couldn't help but wonder if there were still hidden aspects of that night that remained undisclosed. The evening had been absolutely lovely, filled with joy and celebration. James remarked. I'm glad to hear it's nice that our friends know us so well. Despite his comforting words, a nagging feeling persisted within me. Following a soft nudge from him to leave his lap and his suggestion to return to the dance floor with our friends, he added, "It surely will be a night to remember," coupled with a wink that left me even more bewildered, confused and seeking answers. I contemplated approaching Lisa to uncover the truth behind her cryptic message. However, she was engrossed in conversation with Sarah and James, discussing something related to their occasional glances in my direction. Feeling increasingly uneasy, I noticed James's phone nearby. The paranoia within me left me with little choice. I had to see if there was anything stored on it that could reveal what had transpired. As I attempted to unlock the phone, my hope was swiftly dashed. The background on the device didn't resemble James's usual one. Suppressing my frustration, I realized that if I wanted to uncover the truth, I had to approach the situation casually, as everyone seemed averse to sharing information. Lisa, Sarah, and James were occupied with one another, leaving me without a direct source of information. Deciding to discreetly gauge the guests' knowledge, I moved through the reception, passing by the attendees. Some were immediately dismissed as unlikely sources of information, while others received the benefit of the doubt. My gaze fell upon James's friends, who might know more but were unlikely to divulge any incriminating details. Placing the phone back on the table, I stood up, determined to discover who was involved and who remained as clueless as I was. I first approached my family, hoping that a cousin might provide some insight. However, before I could reach them, I was intercepted by James's mother. Engaging in small talk, I smiled and responded, but a sudden knowing look crossed her face as her eyes fixated on something. Suspicion lingered in the air, and I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the situation than met the eye. As I navigated through the guests, making my way toward Caitlin and Simon, my two cousins, James's mother's reaction lingered in my mind. The journey to uncover the truth had just begun, and I needed to navigate the delicate balance of gathering information without stirring unnecessary rumors. As I approached Caitlin and Simon, ready to seek their insights, James's mother's gaze and knowing look still weighed on me. It was a puzzle I needed to solve, a truth I needed to unveil, and a night that had started with joy was now shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. As I stood amidst the reception, a glance behind me caught James looking at his mother. The perplexity deepened, and I couldn't fathom how to extract information from her. Determined to uncover the truth, I redirected my attention to Colette, James's mother. "Thank you again so much for helping James and me plan this beautiful wedding," I expressed, offering a warm smile. Colette reciprocated with a smile, but given the recent confusion, I couldn't discern if the sentiment in her response was genuine. "I can't believe you and James are married," she remarked, and a sense of ambiguity lingered in her words. Unsure of her stance, I cautiously continued, shifting the conversation toward the various elements of the wedding, from the venue to the bachelor parties and the upcoming honeymoon. Everything is perfect, from the venue to our bachelor and bachelorette parties, and we're looking forward to our dream destination in Lake Tahoe," I exclaimed, attempting to gauge Colette's reaction. She nodded in agreement, and for a moment, it seemed like she might not be privy to the events of the previous night. However, her demeanor shifted as I continued. James's friends brought him to an arcade for unlimited gaming, which is perfect for him, I mentioned, keeping a watchful eye on Colette. Her response was subdued, leaving me uncertain if she was aware of the details or preoccupied with something else. It was evident that if she did know, the nature of her knowledge remained elusive. Without dwelling too long on the topic, I steered the conversation toward Lake Tahoe, our planned dream destination for the honeymoon. We're leaving for Lake Tahoe tomorrow, and it sure is a dream destination, I remarked. Maintaining a polite smile, Colette's smile wavered again, and she began to stammer in response. Yeah. I remember that James told us about this destination. It sure sounds great, she stammered, her hands briefly gripping my arm. Sensing a subtle change in her demeanor, I realized that Colette might be privy to more information than she was letting on. Honey, I won't bother you any longer. Go see the rest of your guests. I'm going to find Adam in the meantime, Colette said, releasing her grip and walking off to locate Adam, James's father. As she departed, the mystery deepened, and I found myself with more questions than answers. It became apparent that something had occurred during James's bachelor party, potentially linked to our honeymoon plans. My conversation with Colette had left me in a state of confusion, prompting me to seek answers from others. Initially intending to talk to Caitlin or Simon, I remained determined to unravel the mystery that surrounded James's secretive actions. Slowing down my pace, I approached Caitlin and Simon with a newfound vigor. Hey, guys, are you enjoying everything so far? I inquired, hoping they might provide some insight. They greeted me with smiles, but it became evident that, like me, they were in the dark about the mysterious events of the previous night. Despite my attempts to gather information, the conversation yielded no new clues. Frustration mounted as the mystery deepened, leaving me with more questions than answers. Determined to uncover the truth, I contemplated the possibility of searching for James's phone. The challenge lay in its unknown whereabouts, and I questioned whether he carried it with him. Given his secretive behavior, it seemed improbable that he would willingly hand over the device that held the key to unraveling his cryptic actions. Feeling as though I had nothing to lose, I turned off my phone, creating a pretext in case my actions were discovered. As I navigated the crowd in pursuit of James, his best man, in an intoxicated state, stumbled into me. Despite his slurred words, he expressed joy at our marriage. I reciprocated with a smile, masking the inner turmoil. He patted my shoulder and, with a lazy smile, playfully remarked, "Yeah, you're so chill. I mean, look at you now. Especially after last night. So chill." His words sent a shock through me, and I realized he might inadvertently reveal the information I sought. Attempting to keep my composure, I responded, "Of course. Will. I love James. So everything's a-okay. I hope this would encourage him to divulge more." Will grinned in response, his eyes widening. "That's what I said to him last night." Like, "You're sure?" But he was like, lowering his voice to imitate James. He continued, "Well, I don't want to make her worry about this. I'll ask Lisa or Sarah first, and they'll see if we should tell her." A surge of betrayal shot through me as I processed Will's words. Lisa and Sarah had known something had transpired the previous night, yet they allowed me to marry James without knowing the truth. Shock and disappointment played across my face as I attempted to conceal the turmoil within. The revelation left me grappling with the reality that my closest friends had kept me in the dark about a pivotal moment, and the quest for answers intensified. I made a concerted effort to conceal the worry that threatened to surface as Will continued his cryptic remarks. Yet, when his gaze met mine, the concern etched into his eyes betrayed the gravity of the situation. "Hey. Are you okay? He asked, pausing mid-sentence. My attempt at a smile fell short, failing to reach my eyes. "I don't know, Will," I replied, my voice revealing a sense of sadness. Turning fully towards me, Will placed both hands on my shoulders, bringing himself to eye level. Starting off with a stern tone, he said, I understand change can be difficult. And it's always been challenging for you. But I'm certain you will love this arrangement." Furrowing my brows, I couldn't comprehend his cryptic words. There were no context clues, only vague statements that heightened my nerves. I shrugged off his hands, needing clarity. "Will, talk to me," I urged sternly. "What happened during the bachelor's party? Did James cheat on me? I need to know the answer, even if I won't like it." Will's eyes widened, followed by a confused look. His gaze shifted behind me, and he seemed to compose himself. "What? No. Of course not. We went to an arcade yesterday for his party. To play video games with the boys," he explained, his words indicating a return to sobriety. As he spoke, he scratched the back of his head, his face flushing. Excusing himself, he mentioned needing to use the restroom before scurrying off. If he was telling the truth, it meant James hadn't been unfaithful. However, a quick glance over my shoulder heightened my worry. Were his answers influenced by someone else? No one seemed to be forthcoming with information. Failing to locate my husband in the crowd, I knew what needed to be done. I had to find Lisa, hoping she was in the company of Sarah. Lisa had been the one attempting to warn me initially, and perhaps she held the key to the entire story. Scanning the area, a surge of relief washed over me when I spotted her standing alone at the bar. "Lisa, I need you to tell me what's going on," I asserted as she turned to face me, perturbed by my urgency. She hesitated, then stammered, "I don't know what you're talking about." Determined to get answers, I pressed on. "Lisa, don't play games with me. I've noticed something's not right." Will hinted at some arrangement and mentioned the bachelor's party. "What's happening?" My tone was a mix of desperation and frustration, hoping Lisa would finally reveal the elusive truth. Her eyes darted around the room, searching for someone. My eyes pleaded with her. "Please, Lisa. I can't find James. Just tell me." I nearly begged my best friend to reveal her secret, but she remained resolute. "James is with Sarah," she finally confessed. I didn't hear the rest of what she said as my heart ached. What was James doing with Sarah? My mind raced at her revelation. Seeing that I had zoned out, Lisa tapped my arm and pointed behind me. "Look. There he is." Taking that as my cue, I approached him. When I reached him, I quickly snatched the phone from his hand, met with a vocal protest. I tossed the phone on the table next to him, his attention now fully on me. "What are you doing?" The words died in his throat when he looked at my face. I wanted to unleash my anger on him, but when I saw a concerning message pop up on his phone, I reached to grab his arm. However, in the corner of my eye, I saw a message from Sarah. And suddenly, it became hard to breathe. Maybe Lisa hadn't said anything because she was friends with both of us. The sequence of 3 messages displayed on the screen revealed the truth. "I'm ready. I still can't believe we are keeping this a secret from Em. And I can't wait to see how she will react. Had this been the reason he had gone away just now and during the wedding reception? You bastard! I shot at him. My expression filled with anger. I can't believe you would do this to me on our wedding day, I said, gritting my teeth. He quickly glanced at the phone, almost puzzled by my anger. Wait. Em. This is not what it looks like, he said, both hands in the air in a sign of surrender. I definitely know what this looks like. You and our whole bridal party have been acting so secretive. I can't believe you would do this to me. Everyone is involved in your little scheme. And I am the fool, I said, tears welling up in my eyes. My anger transformed into sadness. I actually came to find you, as Sarah had just finished packing your bags. Instead of Lake Tahoe, we will be going to Italy for our honeymoon. Lisa and Sarah have always heard you talk about your wish to go there, he explained, a smile forming as he held up 2 tickets showing our new destination. In his hands were 2 flight tickets to Italy. And my heart leaped. Tears welled up in my eyes again. But this time for a different reason. They all knew me too well. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to feel stressed during our big day. That's why I contacted your girls, James explained. I couldn't believe it. Opening the door, Sarah stood there with a large suitcase. She smiled at me. I packed all your things. Cute clothes, necessities, and more, she said, walking towards me and engulfing me in a hug. You're going to Italy, girl, she added, trying to contain her excitement. I thanked them all, realizing that my beautiful reception had ended, culminating in a beautiful day that would lead to a beautiful and memorable honeymoon. Especially with the thought that everyone I loved had helped James and me get there.